Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm TCaptainX. If your goal is to get better at Call of Duty Warzone, then you came to the right video. And in my opinion, the method I'm going to explain to you guys is the best and fastest method to get better at Call of Duty Warzone. And that is playing in solo versus duos. Of course, a few updates ago, they made it so if you queue in or load in as a solo in a duo, trio, or quads resurgence mode, you get that resurgence timer that allows you to spawn back after you die. And I think when you play in a solo versus duo situation, it makes you think a lot more about how you position yourself, how you take on fights, and all that stuff. And that's the most important thing when it comes at the end of the day in Call of Duty is the mental aspect. And that's what we're going to focus on in today's video. Now, I'm landing at mall. It's a hot drop, a lot of money here, very easy to get loadout. If you just saw, a guy did just run by this doorway right here. So I'm going to put a plate on here. And the number one thing I want to point out right at the very beginning here, guys, if you're kind of more of a beginner level player, you've got to focus on centering. So I have my center dot here. Look how it is at chest level of where an enemy may be. And it is right at that doorway. If this guy were to peek through that doorway, I am already aimed where he's going to be. And I promise you that is such an important thing to do in Call of Duty. I'm already starting to kind of pre-aim, slow down as I come around this corner. And here he is. We're going to get an easy kill to kind of start off here. Now, normally in, Resurgence here, we're going to get weapon or we're going to get minimap pings. However, this guy apparently did not have a teammate. So all good. We're going to keep looting here. Keep in mind, this is duos, so it is $12,000 to get a loadout. When I'm first landing in, my goal is get first a gun. That way, if I have to fight, I'm ready to fight. And then next, I'm prioritizing finding money and getting loot so I can buy a loadout. That is my top priority. Now, a guy did just land on the roof here, and he is going to start shooting at me, but I've got $12,500 here. So again, I'm going to prioritize going to get that loadout, and I'm not going to worry too much about fighting that guy until I have my loadout guns. Now, the occupation scan did go active. If you're unfamiliar with that, when it alerts and says there's an occupation scan, there'll be a little timer kind of in the left side next to your minimap. You have to prone or be underwater. As long as you prone or you're underwater when that timer ends, you're not going to show up on the minimap. But as you can see in my minimap in the top left, there's a lot of people showing up, and those are all the people who didn't prone or lay down. So as we're looking here, I see a lot of people over here at the market area. This is this building right in front of me here. And this guy is going to just fly up out of nowhere, and I do crack his armor, and then I happen to just kind of whiff all my shots at the end, but it's all good. So we're going to keep rotating up. I know there's multiple people in here, but watch this. Watch how as I come up, my crosshair, again, it's centered at the doorway. This is the area that most likely, if somebody were to push out, that's where they're going to be. They don't happen to push out, but it's all good. I keep, even as I'm walking up, that my crosshair is ready to go where someone's most likely to be, because that millisecond difference matters of getting those early shots if you were to get pushed. Now, a big rule of thumb that I live off of, always try to fight from the high ground down. So instead of me going through the bottom floor, we're not going to do that. We're going to go through a quick little jump spot and hit this window, and there is a guy right in front of me here. We're going to get him down, get the finish, and now I have to immediately look at the minimap. Now, you can't see this, so actually here, we're going to do this really quick so you can. This is me in game. See how my eyes, the second I got that kill, they're already looking top left, because that is right here at the minimap. Now, there is a solid dot in the building. The solid dot means, of course, he's on my level. So I know he's got to be up just behind this wall up and to my right. So I'm going to pre-aim, see if he challenges. He doesn't. We're going to get a reload off here. And again, watch how I'm nice and slow. And we're going to jump chow around this corner. He's going to throw a little proc spine down, but that's okay. Now, let's go back here 1 second. Now, I want to explain how to properly jump challenge around a corner. There is still that aim down sight delay when you jump. When you jump, your guy is slower to bring his gun up and aim it in. So it's important when you start your jump that you're starting your jump before the wall. You don't want to start and jump around right at the corner of the wall. You need to start it earlier. So watch how I start right here, about maybe, I don't know, a meter or two before the wall. That way, by the time I'm already getting around the wall, I'm already aimed in and I can get those shots earlier. Now, this guy threw down 2 proximity mines. I take a lot of damage here, and I was also hearing some other footsteps. I'm getting high alerted, so I'm trying to just get back into cover and kind of reset this fight and kind of gather myself here. Now, I'm hearing stuff. I'm trying to figure out where people are. I'm not really sure. So you know what? I've got money for a UAV. If you're by a buy station, if you've got $6,000, please buy UAVs and take advantage of that. So a lot of info going on here. We've got 3 people in the market area, 2 that are pinging with up arrows, meaning they're above me, most likely on the 2nd level or maybe on the roof. And then we also have a 3rd who is ground level on the other side of the building. So again, we're going to try to fight from top down. We're going to go up just like last time, get that kill here. Now, we've got this guy right here, and we also are getting a ping my level on the opposite side. So that means there's this guy right in front of me, and most likely there's also a guy just behind this wall. So if we, use our brains here, these guys are, it seems like on opposite teams maybe. However, I really don't, I'm a little confused completely, to be honest, by this, because I got that kill. This guy's pinging on the UAV, but this guy's not. UAV's been a little bit buggy here. I try to maximize what cover I have off this pool table, but it's just not enough here, and I'm not really able to do it because I was getting focused by 2 different guys, kind of from 2 different angles. And that's one thing you have to accept when you are playing solo versus duos. If they play it perfectly, it's really difficult to win those fights. In hindsight 2020, I should have got that down and then probably jumped out of the building and looped around and kind of reset that fight and took it from a completely different angle. But it's all good because since we did Q in as a solo, I'm going to get to respawn back in and we are right back at it. Now, I did not land right back where I just died. This is something that I preach. I don't always do it because I understand the urge that when you die, you want to just go land back on your stuff, especially when you have your loadout guns and get your stuff right back. But remember, when you're, if I were to land back there and if I died immediately, then the game would be over. I'd be back to the lobby. So instead, I'm going to land off a little bit. I'm going to get some guns here because I also knew, I think when I respawned, it was like 1 minute 30 second on the timer. At 1 minute 10 seconds of when the first circle is closing, that's when loadout drops in Vondel. So I was like, you know what? I'll just loot. I'll wait for loadout. It's all good. So we're going to head over here, go grab the loadout, and then we're going to go from here. Now, look at how much money I have. I have $6,900, and oh wait, there is a buy station right next to me. So let's pop a UAV. And I'm glad we did because there is a guy pinging right below here in the water to my right that I would have had no idea was there. Now this, I just want to say before this happens, the water is messed up. It's frustrating. And because of this, I often try to avoid water fights. I don't know how. Please, someone explain to me where my bullets were going. There is another instance in this game later that happened with the TAC-56 specifically. I think the TAC-56 might be like bugged for shooting underwater because my ISO SMG was working fine. But just a general rule of thumb here is if you can avoid fights in the water, just avoid them unless you have a pistol underwater because the mechanics and the physics just don't make a lot of sense and you can lose fights you have no business losing. So now I did have a UAV that pinged in police, so that's where we're heading next here. So again, I'm trying to check here and notice how I had my crosshairs centered roughly near that door. So when this guy happened to come out, it's a pretty easy kill. We do get a minimap ping on our level in the center of police. So that means he is on the ground level here. We're going to get a reload off here. And now we're going to use the door to our advantage. Whenever you have a door that's open like this, if you're going to run through here, instead of just running straight through the door, run to the side of the door and then push that door with you. So see how I push through? Because what it does when I push this door open essentially is once I swing it like this, it's kind of like shocking your opponent because it's like, whoa, a door all of a sudden appeared there. And then you get to kind of use that and it's almost like it gives you like a split-second head start to fly around that corner where they don't see you. So it's a small tactic. It is very useful in close range though. It can really kind of just like throw your opponent off for a split second. Now, I am honestly off to kind of a slow pace here, and we're going to end up finishing this. I'll just kind of go ahead and spoil it. I'm going to finish this game with 27 kills, okay? I'm only at 6 kills in the second circle. So just because you start slow, you don't need to worry and necessarily feel like, oh, it's going to be a bad game. Vondel, you can pick up a lot of kills in the end game if your goal is to pick up high kill games. So again, I'm going into market. I'm trying to figure out, are there people down here? Not really sure. Just taking my time here. And because I thought I heard some stuff, and hello, there is a lot of people out here. Now, really quick, watch how I'm on this ledge, but notice how I'm right on the edge of this window. If I were to turn around and start getting focused by multiple people, all I have to do is turn right back in the window. I notice how I didn't jump out and put myself in the open. One of the big things you have to do, especially when you're outnumbered playing solo versus duos or playing solo versus whatever you're playing, or just solos in general, it's very important that you're always utilizing cover and you're not putting yourself in the open. So I'm not going to get any downs here right away here, but I'm going to crack armor on 3 different people. This guy's going to peek to the left. Nice little flick there, by the way, just saying. Very quick shout out here, guys. If you don't already, if you don't use a taller analog stick on your right, I highly recommend it. If you have a normal controller, put a control freak on it. It helps so much with the aim. Myself, I've got a custom aim controller, like many of you know. This is a taller right analog stick that comes custom with it, and I love it. And it really helps with my accuracy, especially hitting flicks just like that. So now the guy that was behind this little buy station, he went down from the other guy. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I've broken this guy's armor. I need to take this time. I need to go get aggressive. I have momentum on my side, and we need to push up. He's going to run to the left here. I'm just checking my right, make sure that the other guy wasn't around here. Now, we are going to slide the corner, and I kind of center because I thought he would run over here to the right, but here he is in the corner. We'll go back here just a few seconds. I'm going to play it at full speed here. Really hard to see in these corners sometimes, so we do get that down here, and we are going to get a ping above on this building. Now that guy he might be floating in, or he might be up there on the roof. I'm not sure, but we are going to head up that way and try to check out. However, we just got enemy dropping into the AO, so more than likely that was his teammate that was respawning in. So I am hearing a lot of shooting out here. Not really sure where anyone is. I'm just kind of checking the rooftops, and we're going to go look over at mall, and hello, we got a few people over here. I'm going to get this guy cracked, unfortunately. So the TAC-56, great gun. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's very low recoil, easy to use. Now, if you might be seeing this guy is starting to peek me with a sniper. I'm going to fall. I try to flick and I miss. Now, re-peeking that, I'm going to be honest, was risky. It wasn't the smartest decision because that guy could have hit a headshot on me, and it could have been GG's right there. Now, I will also admit the next thing I'm about to do, it's not the smartest thing. Not smart. This guy is out here in the open. He's running away because I think they're fighting each other, actually. Not sure. They were fighting something. Now, subtle thing here. Watch how this is super subtle here, but this is such a big deal that a lot of people don't do. Obviously, you guys saw this guy run behind this corner. And a lot of you guys will just start sprinting straight towards it. Instead, slow down and just pre-aim and walk. The sprint to fire time, the aim down sight speed time in Warzone 2 compared to what Warzone 1 was is still a lot slower at the end of the day. So pre-aiming and just holding an angle is still much more important. I'm not saying you sit in a corner all day and just aim at a doorway, but you have to utilize that in your fights. Now, I did see that other guy, remember, I think he was on a different team. I think he was, because I just got a team wipe, so they must have been fighting each other. We're going to put plates on, and I don't know if you saw, I did a very quick shoulder there. And here we go. We're going to shoulder again, and we're going to see this guy straight down here. Shouldering is just a concept that means when you're by cover, you just peek out. You kind of peek your shoulder out to the side, and you're just trying to catch a glimpse and see, okay, is there somebody out there? So I do see somebody out there. Now that I'm plated up, we're going to switch to the TAC-56, and this is going to look a little suspicious. Let me just play it. That looked a little suspicious, right? But the reason it looks suspicious is simple. It's because I shouldered the corner, I saw him, I aimed where I literally just saw him, and I started shooting the second I was coming around that corner. And again, it's every millisecond matters in Warzone 2. The time to kill is still fast in this game. It's faster than Warzone 1 was. And so it's important that you are getting shots on before your opponent. Now, I did see a guy that was running over like this way into market. In hindsight, I probably should have bought a UAV here, but instead I'm just going to go in because I literally just saw a guy. I don't know where he went, so we're going to go back and buy a UAV now. Buy UAV, and now here's my buddy from earlier that I killed. He landed back on his stuff. Remember when I said don't land back on your stuff? Well, here's why. Goodbye, my friend. And he just got wiped. He might have been a solo or he might have been a duo, I'm not sure. But because he landed back immediately on his stuff and he got killed, it wasn't enough time to reset that solo respawn, and now he's dead. Now, on the UAV, there are two people pinging over here. Now that I'm up on the roof level, they are pinging as solid dots, and that simply means they're on my level here. And this UAV is gonna come in very handy because I would have had no idea these guys are here. These guys are just like having a campfire and s'mores in here, but we're gonna, you know, we're gonna put their fire out. Wow, that was so cool, guys. So as I come up here, obviously my center dot is centered on the doorway here, right? Quick FYI, if you're like, how do you make your center dot bigger? Go to your interface settings and go to center dot and change it to largest. So I'm already starting to pre-aim. Here's one dude in the corner. So we get him down. We're gonna get the finish. Now immediately, if you look here, kind of small, the red dot, he's on my level and he's just to the right, which would indicate he's probably right behind this window. So what do?
Marking the rest of them.
I know that looks suspicious, but guys, you have to put information and put it all together. And this is where it still baffles me that people will say people are cheating in certain situations. You just have to take the information the game gives you and go off it. The amount of times I try to shoot through walls and miss happens more than when I hit. But when I do hit, yes, it obviously looks suspicious, but I don't know. Forgive me for the little rant I'm going on. Now, I have another UAV. We're going to pop it. I also see this guy over here, and there are two people above me over here. Now, I'm going to take these shots. Honestly, probably not the best shots to take because of how far that guy away is. I saw more dots over this way, so that's why I'm going this way. Those guys were chilling up there on top of that roof. Probably not a great fight for me to go push on because there's not any adjacent roofs for me to go fight off of. So I've got two dots below me here, hearing some shooting. These guys are fighting here. This guy runs in the water. The TAC-56 doesn't work underwater, apparently. This guy kind of came out of nowhere, but thankfully I'm able to get good shots on him. Now, this guy's below me, and there is an underwater like river or tunnel here, right? So my thought process was, I'm not going to go challenge from right below because that guy might be waiting on me. But I know this little hole is over here because we don't want to challenge the way we just came. Never chase and follow that same route because they're just going to sit there and wait for you. Take another angle, go around, hit a little flank. So we're going to do that. And I'm looking for this guy, and I have no idea where this guy went. I was certain he would be down here, and he wasn't. So he's just Houdini, and maybe he's Michael Phelps and is the best swimmer out there. I don't know. Now, we are hearing those shots over there. That was the team that we saw earlier on the UAV and that we were shooting at a little bit earlier. So we are going to work our way over there. Now, I did just get an assist, so maybe I did get... Maybe someone else killed that guy. I really don't know where that guy went. You guys probably saw that guy was on the roof. Now, I am going to push straight up here. This is a little risky to push straight up here because they might hear me. They might be waiting on me. But notice how I come up here, crosshair centered. We slow down. We're not sprinting through the doorway. We're coming through, so we're not have to worry about that sprint to fire time. Nice and slow. We're checking. I don't see anyone. We're starting to get high ground here. And then Piers numero uno. So now, if I were to start shooting from here, this is risky because he could very easily run this way, and then now I don't have an angle. So I'm going to wait just a second. We're going to get up to the ledge and then start shooting. We get the down, but here comes his buddy. Now, I could probably just simply turn and try to flick and shoot this guy. However, the way this guy is looking, you already know he's about to turn this way. So I'm going to utilize kind of some movement here essentially, and we're going to completely throw this guy off. And we're going to jump behind him, and this guy is just absolutely lost in the sauce. Now, I'll go back here just a little bit and kind of run that at full speed so you guys get a better... So we get the first one, immediately jump behind, and because he is starting to adjust his aim, but I had jumped basically straight over him, he can't catch up to me because it's such like an awkward angle for him to turn. Now, I just heard footsteps, so that's why I'm pre-aiming this doorway, and I'm trying to see, like, where is this guy? But, oh crap, gas is coming. Now, thankfully, I do have a durable gas mask. Absolutely love having durables. Trying to see, this guy is running for the hills. Looking to see if he's a teammate. We get him down. Now, his teammate is actually pinging. Looks like he's actually pinging. No, there is a down arrow. He's below me, so he's right there, I think, out in market ahead of me. So I'm looking, but he's running away. He hasn't turned to shoot at me, so I'm going to go while I can. There also was a guy here to the right that you might have saw just there. Now I'm trying to see, is this guy going to turn back and try to fight? Because if he is, I don't want to get caught out in the open. He's not, so I'm going to keep working forward. But again, like I've said before, we're going to work from high ground. We're not going to go through the ground level. If you have an option to take a high ground, always take that. Because when I do, here he comes. My plan was I was going to smoke the buy station and buy a UAV. I wanted to use a smoke so I'd be safe in case somebody was near me. But here comes Snoop Dogg. So we're going to take care of him first, and we're going to get a team wipe here. Now we're going to go buy UAV. We're going to buy a fresh durable since I had to burn mine a little bit. I'm a big fan of durable gas masks. Opens up a lot of possibilities. When you're starting to get in like third zone and later, if you don't have a durable gas mask yet, I would highly recommend buying one. This guy's controller died or something, so we're going to take that, although it didn't give me that kill, RIP. Got 2 people pinging right above me, and then 2 people pinging in a few buildings over. So we are going to work up here to the top here. Now, again, like I said before, remember how pushing up stairwells are risky when they're right above you? Hello, sir. That guy might have been ghosted. I'm not sure. He must have been a solo. I think he was ghosted. Thankfully, I don't think he had a gun. He maybe was coming back from Gulag or something, so we kind of get a free kill. But now, oh my goodness. Okay, let's talk about this here for a second. Let's go back just a tad. So, number one, watch how I'm not just sprinting up the stairwell. In close quarters, guys, the biggest saying, I'm going to tell you this and help you win more gunfights, slow down and keep your crosshairs centered. That's it. It's that simple. Because here comes this first guy. He's already sprinting around the corner. He's doing what I just said not to do. He's sprinting around and he's not expecting and anticipating me to be here. So sorry that it's kind of like getting all glitchy when I pause it here. We get him cracked, but the other guy's right here, okay? I'm recognizing this is a losing fight. If I'm going to just try to take this and stand here and try to 1v2 these guys in a close quarter situation where I can't utilize cover, I can't utilize movement, this is bad. So I'm going to start working down the stairs as I'm just pre-firing there in case they peek. I get both of them cracked, and it gives me time to get away and put on plates. I do thankfully have a tempered plate, which allows me to play quicker. Now, remember how I said, don't re-challenge from the same angle. Okay, and always try to take high ground when it's possible. So we're going to take a different angle and a different way of taking high ground. And guess where I put myself? Zone has 12 seconds until it moves. They're in this stairwell. The zone's behind them. I just pinched them between myself and the zone. The zone, especially in the end game, can be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on how you position yourself. So now I know, okay, these guys were in the stairwell. Chances are they're going to come up and they're just going to try to rotate the zone here. And I'm just pre-aiming it. I'm trying to see if they're going to come up here. The only thing I don't like about where I am is I'm pretty, like, in the open. I could move down here, but then I have worse of an angle, but I'm just going to stay here. Now, I start kind of having mind tricks. I start thinking I'm hearing someone under me. I can't tell, are they under me? Are they coming up the other stairwell? So I kind of get antsy. And then now they start to come. It's kind of just bad COD timing. But because I jumped up here, I have an insane like head glitch and great cover to fight off of. We do get one down. Now they're both right behind here. And I'm literally just pre-firing it to see if he's going to stand up. He throws a smoke. I keep pre-firing to see if they're going to run. Now I move up and get aggressive, and I close that range with my SMG here, and I'm trying to see where is this guy going to go. I throw on a plate really quick. One jumps off. That was the guy that was weak, but as he's running, we're going to take those shots, and we're going to take care of them. And that literally, the whole reason I was able to win that fight was I recognized I was in a losing fight in the stairwell, and I got out of there, and then I repositioned to take the power position over them and put them in the bad position between me and the zone. So we are now, respawn's disabled at this point, okay? Got 20 kills at this point. We're in a good game. Now, I just heard people above me. Now, if I were to go up these stairs, if they're right up here, it's GG's, because you never, going up a stairwell and when people are and can look down on it is just, it's always a losing fight. So I'm like, nope, we are not going to go up there. We're going to take our time. We're going to go somewhere else. Okay, we're going to try to find another area. So I'm looking around here, and then I'm like, oh, wait, there's a jump spot here. I can jump up here. Nice and slow, good centering, nice and slow. Hello. Here they come. We get both of them kind of weak. Now, what did I just say about don't re-challenge from the same angle? They both just ran down the elevator shaft. If they come this way, I got an easy kill. But what are they going to do? They're going to do what I said not to do, and they're going to come right back up this elevator shaft here. We get one, and the other one's going to come up like a little Congo line here, and I literally cannot see what I'm shooting at. Quick tip here, when you're fighting in police, in this room right here where I am, I don't know why it is, when you start shooting in here, it gets all like smoky and foggy. there's some sort of like texture glitch, I don't know, but just beware when you're shooting in that room. It always does that, and you literally cannot see where you're shooting at. So we now have a total of 6 teams and 10 players left, me being one of them. 22 kills. I am going to have to move to zone here. I am working up here, and I'm trying to just kind of check here, make sure nobody's above me. I want to get high ground, but I know I've got to start moving to zone here, and I'm just scanning the area. I'm utilizing the high ground as kind of just like a scouting area, but I'm like, you know what? The helicopter's still here. I'm going to use it. This isn't the smartest play in the world. However, even if a team tries to focus me and start shooting at me, most likely I can jump and just dive somewhere and I'll be okay. Because I just want to get a bird's eye view. And as you might be able to see, there is a guy down here, little black dot, who's on top of that roof. So I know there's got to be a guy or a team over there. But I was mostly concerned, I wanted to see, is there a team on top of Museum? Because if we look at the zone, that's kind of going to be the power position. It's kind of in the center. It's the high ground. A lot of good angles to fight off from up there. So I'm just like, where can I go? I don't see anyone up here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go take top Museum. I'm going to take the power position in this end game. 9 times out of 10, power position is high ground and in the center. Or, yeah, basically. Now, we do pick up a kill there. The guy was running in here. Now, I know we've got 15 seconds until zone moves, and it's a moving zone, and it is a relatively favorable pool back to me because I know there's people up here at this building. There's a mortar strike going on. I am trying to be aware of my surroundings, keep checking, make sure I'm not getting walked up on from behind here. But my goal is just to keep watching and hold these guys whenever they have to rotate here. However, I'm going to hear some footsteps, and we're going to get this guy. Now, I do get a live ping on him. And now a lot of people ask me, so I have 4 paddles on the back of my aim controller. Now, all of these buttons are bound to them. My ping button is still up on the D-pad. However, I've kind of trained myself to be very quick. If you watch my hand cam, when I start shooting someone, I will very quickly take my left thumb off the analog stick and hit up to get a quick ping because of situations like this, because I can utilize that ping and kind of just, shoot through the walls like I have free wall hacks. Now, I'm going to drop down. This was a very, very risky play, and this guy just threw a drill charge in, and it's drilling out. But I knew I had just cracked this guy's armor. If I just stay up there, I'm going to let him replay, and it's going to become more of a 50-50 fight. Instead, I'm going to use my momentum. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to just start pre-firing because he was literally 1 HP since I was shooting there above. And thankfully, there's also a zip line literally right here, so I can get right back to where I just was. So 3 other teams left. I'm the only solo, if we do the math here. I do take a last peek to see is anybody coming this way. And you might see the red tracker, and here is the guy right here. So watch how I get the live ping again, and we shoot him through that. Now, if you notice there, I had him downed, but then I still got a purple icon like I was shooting another enemy's plates. And I actually never saw this second guy, but because I had the guy downed and then I got a plate indicator that I did damage to plates, told me I must have shot his teammate here. So now I'm going in nice and slow, and we pre-aim it and we kill the other one. Always make sure you're killing the one that is up and not the one that's down first in those situations. It is now a 1v2 situation. We got 26 kills here. Now you're probably like, oh, TCap said he got 27 kills. Does he lose? I don't know, guys. Let's find out what happened. So I'm making sure nobody's up here on my roof, right? Okay. And it doesn't seem like anyone is. And then I look down, I'm like, hello, sir. Again, we get the live ping. We're trying to wall hack him. The wall hacks aren't working too well. It's a joke. I don't have wall hacks. Again, we're trying to do this, but I'm not trying to overexpose myself here. And at this point, I'm worried because these zones just collapse on each other. So I'm going to loot these really quick just so the noise goes away, but I get a deployable buy station. So my thought is instantly, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy some gas masks. I'm going to buy self-revives. I am not going to lose to a heal off in the gas, okay? Because I've been in those before. I don't have gas mask or stims or anything at this point. So I'm trying to keep my eye on that last area where they could come up. You can shoot the buy stations and make them come down just a little bit faster. I'm going to buy a fresh gas mask. I'll buy some self-revives. And I'm trying to manage my inventory and get an extra self-revive. And I'm trying to buy another gas mask just to be prepared in case it comes to this. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? There's no way they can get up here, right? Because like that's the only way I know of. But one thing I want to just remind you guys, the audio from zips is like next to nothing. So if there is a zip by you, do not rely on getting audio from it. Because I'm going to get high alerted. Now, thankfully, he was literally 1 HP because I think he tried to make a gas play and come up the zip or something. And thankfully, he was 1 HP. So even though he could have killed me there easily, I was able to come away with the win. And that entire game was all because of just well-executed positioning, not putting myself in overly dangerous situations, but still being aggressive enough to get a high kill game like this. So if you are looking to get better, number one, consider subscribing to the channel because we do a lot of tips and stuff like this to help you guys get better. But number two, play some solo versus duos. Have realistic expectations. You're not going to win every game and drop bangers every game. But the more and more you do it, the better and more comfortable you'll be when you're in those tougher situations in your normal trios, quads games when you're playing with your friends or whatever. I promise you, it's a great method to get better. It is a lot of fun as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.